Hello, hello, hello. Welcome in, everyone. What's up, are you? Doctor Who Heather, Summer Savage. Look at all y'all that are here. There's so many. Liz, Haggis Basher, Selfless is just rambling around the background. I don't know what he's doing. Lynn, Corn Freak, Rika, Marine. Look at all y'all. Like on the rocks. Marissa. It is so lovely to see all of your faces in here. Heather in the library. I love all your faces. What's up, Britt? So, I'm assuming that most of you saw the live today from our friend Serge. And I mean, I did. And what's up, Kimberly? I have been waiting for this moment for quite some time. I have a lot of things to say. Well, just me. If you have not seen Serge's live, you should go watch that afterward. Oh, where to start? First, this has been one of the most awkward social experiences of my entire life. Part of that has been because of SBTV. It was a rally cry, DOA. It was a rally cry for Braveheart, and that is what we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. But I've got some individual points to make with respect to the foundation. Super Pup, thank you. Good to see you as well. Truths were told, and I've got more. This is a giant yes and. First of all, hearing Serge have the protesters and the live streamers' backs was really huge. That was something that I think a lot of us needed to hear, especially a lot of us that have taken heat for our style of protesting, for our allegiance to certain people, our lack of allegiance to other people. And so I don't have enough words of gratitude for Serge for having the bravery to step forward and say what needed to be said, especially to that bald head scallywag that we all have grown to know maybe too much about at this point for him to have a foundation and for us to take it seriously. I want to talk about the pressures of being underneath that hierarchy, whether or not people want to acknowledge it or not. I want to talk about the actual hierarchy. I want to talk about conversations that I had myself with Aaron about that hierarchy as he clutched his pearls and said, "What a hierarchy." I want to talk about we're only going to support protesters if they toe the line, if they don't criticize, if they don't use their brains to think about what we're saying versus what we're doing. If they don't speak to the current Scientologists the way that I want them to, if they focus too much on child trafficking, if they bring up questions that make me feel uncomfortable. First and foremost, to Aaron, we don't, to quote from Serge's speech, the protesters do not support SPTV Foundation. The viewers do. Aaron, where do you think the protesters came from? We learned it from watching you. Actually, we didn't learn it from watching you. We learned it from watching literally everyone that wasn't you, but that you promoted to your benefit. We'll get to that. The reason that most of us, I think, felt so compelled to come out was that for once we were getting the unsanitized version, to use Serge's phrasing. This is the true Hollywood story. And I think a lot of people, myself included, came to Aaron's side, aid, support when he was removed from the aftermath. Um, for reasons that may or may not be legitimate at this point. I don't know. I honestly don't care. But what was clear is that he wanted to make an exact replica, and he did. And now we're here. Because of his lack of humility, because of his lack of desire to actually do something to stop Scientology and not just make this a vanity project for himself, because of his desire to choose favorites, because of his desire to act just like a Scientologist and say exactly what you want to hear and do whatever the fuck they want, we're here now. Again, I don't have enough words to thank Serge for his courage because I think a lot more people are going to come out. And because we can ignore that hierarchy now. So let's talk about the hierarchy. Indeed, Amy. Also that too, Summer. We all know that there's a hierarchy, whether it was before when it was Aaron with the Aftermath Foundation people. Okay. That was one iteration of the hierarchy. And then that just kind of split and became like bimodal. So there were two leaders of this. And the second gens and the third gens right under Aaron. And in a lot of ways, that's kind of probably maybe how it should have been, because these are the folks that we're advocating for. But to think that somebody being a victim of Scientology and being an asshole is mutually exclusive is foolish. And we have now seen that, have we not? And I believe that we're going to continue to see it. And I look forward to seeing how this all plays out. That hierarchy existed and we respected it. And then it became something that was used against us. I'm not trying to say like I believed Aaron and thought that I was going to make X amount of dollars per month. That's not what this is about. This is about there being a community of people that wanted to help the survivors, that were boosting the stories of the second gens, like Serge, like Liz, like Nora, like Natalie, like Aaron, like Reese, all of these people, Sterling, Liz Gale, all of these people boosting their stories, using their stories to get ourselves street cred, right? So of course there's going to be this hierarchy. It's almost like a faculty student situation, right? Because these people are teaching us. But again, also being a protester and being an asshole, not mutually exclusive. I'm just saying that if you think that that hierarchy doesn't exist, you're lying to yourself. And Aaron was so upset about it. And him and I spoke personally about this. And he was like, but what hierarchy? I was like, but like, you're the one that's perpetuating it. And so you do know. And that hierarchy led to the first round of people in the chat and people that were friends with one another as protesters or streamers started the divides after the whole like aftermath divide. Right now we're getting additional ones. I talked about this in the entropy video where there's like little drama tornadoes that spin off. Well, now they've spun off. And it's not only enabled a lot of people to be able to act like this foundation is a real thing that wants to end Scientology. There's a lot of enablers on all sides, and they are like drama tornadoes. But there hasn't been a lot of support of the protesters when it comes to our legal battles. And by support, I don't necessarily mean money. I mean attention. I mean lots of things. And I'm going to give some very specific examples. But when it comes to this hierarchy, It's hard to ignore, it's been awkward to operate under, and to be honest with you pardon me one moment. And to be honest with you, it's been hard to be out in the streets knowing what to do. So first of all, we were very excited when SBTV came out because we'd waited for a very long time after being disappointed in some of the things that Aftermath had done, and we wanted a number to give out. We wanted a website. So for Aaron to say, and Serge quotes Aaron saying that the protesters don't support the SPTV Foundation. Hmm, like a hierarchy, right? But who was out there writing all that on the sidewalks in chalk? Who was out there getting sprayed with power washers for writing into the chalk or on the sidewalk? Who was getting spoken to by West Campus Alliance, Austin Police Department, harassed by Scientologists? And this is just me. I'm not even talking about where it happened at literally every other place. And what were we writing? Child auditing is child abuse. Kids can't consent, and the SPTV information. So we don't support you. Okay. Well, let's talk about that. Do you remember when KK passed away? We had Squirrel Fest, and a lot of people donated goods, their time, their money to support KK and to donate to SBTV in KK's name. Donations that we were not able to make because we were never given an accurate EIN. I've been given multiple. The last two that I've been given are the same, and they still don't line up to anything. I was never going to say that. I was never going to talk about any of this because who knows, in 2 weeks, it might come out. But at this point, after what Serge has gone through, what other people on the board have gone through, what Michael was forced to go through, what Selfless and I have gone through, what DOA and Henri have gone through, what Lara and Liz have gone through, I've waited a long time to say a lot of things. So I'm with Sam. Let's start with support. It's not the foundation's job to support the protesters. Well, what do you mean by support? Also, show me on the doll where I asked you for money. The doll that you don't believe that Serge talks about still exists, that we've seen pictures of, that they used to groom children actively in Scientology. For the record, I asked for support 2 times that did not include money. Well, I've asked for money from Aaron 0 times and have received it 0 times. So that checks out. That math is mathing. I asked for support for him on 2 things. One, when KK died, and there was the GoFundMe that y'all were unbelievably generous with. Still can't thank you enough. He was supposed to make a video about that and share the GoFundMe and talk about KK's efforts and her contributions to this movement. Y'all ever seen that? Did it come out and I missed it? All right, just checking. What did I ask for when it came to the court cases? And this was before Selfless had his. Just to get the timelines accurate. What did I ask Aaron for? Nothing, actually. We were talking on the phone. Why are we talking? What should I do about Louis Repetto? That's why we were on the phone. I don't know if I should talk about Louis Repetto because I don't know if my chat would be interested. Bro, your chat is his fishing pool. But I digress, and I'm really not interested in getting into that whole mess. But that's why we were on the phone. Then we started talking about my charges, and I said, I can't find an attorney that's willing to take on my case because they don't want to go up against Scientology. Oh, I'll do a video. I will reach out to all the people in Texas, see if there's any people that are in Texas that know attorneys, are attorneys that would help you. Y'all seen that video? Anybody seen that video? Oh, okay. Me there. So by support, that's what we meant. But let's also talk about support. Let's talk about GoFundMes for second gens, people that are on the board of the SPTV Foundation. We don't support them, but how many of us survivors donated to all the GoFundMes of all the second gens for various and sundry reasons? Miriam to get her therapy. And let's be clear, I don't begrudge these people this, but let's just like have a little bit of perspective, shall we? And Miriam's not on the board, but as an example, Natalie though. Natalie's on the board. If you go through that GoFundMe, you're not going to see Pearl Snappy gave money. But a lot of you did notice that Liz gave a lot of money in subscriptions to Natalie. That money was coming from Liz, like her channel, and from PearlFest from me. Liz asked if she could use some of that money to pay some bills that came up, and I said yes, and then gave the rest to Natalie. So it's interesting that it was not expected, but we almost all of us did, if we could, donate to their GoFundMes, and not even like a $5 thing from a person who makes $40,000 a month on the tube of you. I mean, you can write that off, Aaron. So interesting. I know DOA gave $500 to Natalie. I saw it on there. A lot of us gave money. But again, none of us were asking them for money. We didn't ask the foundation. It's we not and I am happy to stand corrected if somebody's like, "Actually, I did send them an email and ask if they would help, and they told me to go F myself," whatever. Um, Never asked for money, asked for eyes on our situation, asked for, "Can you help us find, not pay for, but find an attorney who's willing to take this on?" Because I didn't need the foundation. Selfless and I didn't need the foundation because of y'all's generosity. And it would have been paid for even if, like, maybe we didn't get groceries that week. Maybe I'd have been late on my rent, but that would have been paid for, and it wouldn't have been by Aaron, and I never asked. And I never assumed that the foundation owed me any of that. None of us have. But how dare you, Aaron, say that we don't support that foundation when we have all been out there in the heat, in the cold, in the rain, in the sun, in the swatting shadows of multiple police departments, in the shadows of power washers, which, by the way, is assault. So when I heard Serge say that today, any reservations that I had about still trying to protect the good name of all these people that brought me into this whole place that I considered friends, Natalie, I considered you a friend, Natalie. We talked for 6 hours. 6 hours on the phone. Not long ago, 6 hours. What was that? Did you see me as a mark? Were you trying to get information out of me? Did you wanna try to prove that I wasn't a good friend to Liz so that you could finally say Pearl Snappy's evil? What was it? Because at the end of the day, I'm still out here, and I will be out here when these court cases that you seem to think are not a big deal are over. Um, Still advocating for you and for what you went through. It's a shame I can't say that you do the same for Liz or anybody else that needs your help. It's a real shame. All you had to do, Aaron, Natalie, the rest of the board, was listen to Serge when he said, "Hey." Henri wrote this note, and this is one person writing a note, but this is actually the overall perception of what's happening here, that we're not doing anything, that this is a vanity situation for you. Way to prove it right. Way to miss every cue you could have received to do better. What are you doing it wrong? Still just like an F Sciento. And you send people out to do your dirty work, you're still doing it, and it's gross. It's gross. And in all of this, it started the whole band of criticizing of people that are out in the streets. Let's talk about that. So, for all of the folks in the chat who have an issue with the way that any of us protest, but let's talk very specifically about me because I'm here and I'm here to talk about it. I've told you what I know about all these people. I told you what they've all done. Almost every single person that I could pick out in that org, I've told you their crimes. If you are mad at me for being rude or yelling at the people that have done the atrocities that I've detailed, that's a you problem. That is not a me problem. These people are actively trafficking children. They were trafficked themselves and are still trafficking. This is disgusting. I have shown you videos of the massage tables, of the clay tables, of the dolls, of the teddy bears. I've backed up everything that Serge has ever said. Ever. And if you are more concerned about the feelings of child traffickers, you're more concerned about that than supporting people like me that are out there calling it out, then I recommend that you get your ass out of that dent that you've made in your sofa while rage pounding out on the intertubes all day, and you go out there and do it. And you stand there and interact with Scientologists that you know exactly what they're fucking doing. You know exactly what they're fucking doing. And I dare you to not be as outraged as I am. And if you can go out there and be like, "Yeah, it's totally cool. I can be totally calm." I have more questions for you than I think anybody should have of me. Do you think that it does not hurt me to my soul that I can't very likely do anything to help somebody like Tanya? The person who has like a pocket TRO against me? Do you think I don't know how fucked her situation is? I know better than most of you people. I know more about them. That's why I'm mad. I know about their business dealings. I know about their past. I know about how they all got there, and I'm fucking pissed. And if you're mad that I call them coffin dodgers, that I'm like, "Did you survive the Titanic? Do you undo your pants when you're being audited by a 12-year-old?" If that pisses you off, then let me just tell you, you can go into any local org. You can also go to Scientology.org. You can take the personality test, and you can give them all your fucking money. I don't know what you all want from me. I am, at this point, done. I don't give a fuck what Aaron has to say. I don't give a fuck what, people in the chat who are just like, "I can't believe she yelled at kids." Yeah. Do you know why I yelled at those kids? Because their parents were so afraid of me that they sent children out to bull bait me. If I could do it over again, would I do it differently? Probably. Am I sorry for what I did? I honestly can't say that I am. And also, what am I gonna apologize to those kids that think I'm evil and y'all didn't hear what they said to me? None of this is an excuse. But as far as like things I won't apologize for, I don't apologize for shit I'm not sorry for, and y'all weren't there. And if you want it done it better, get off your ass and do it yourself. And that goes for everybody in SPTV Foundation that is just gonna sit there and act like, oh, I'm going to make content off of you going out there and getting arrested, off of you going out there and making parody songs, out of you going out there and entertaining us. When, again, like Serge said, this isn't entertainment. Now, how do we get people to stay and pay attention? By entertaining. I understand that that's part of it, and I'm good at it, and that's why y'all are here. But I still stick to the point. Kids can't consent. Those kids cannot consent. Child auditing is child abuse, and child trafficking and human trafficking, unacceptable. I'm not gonna shut up about that. But now I don't give a fuck if Aaron wishes I would have said it differently. If Natalie can't show my clip because, like, I called somebody a cunt. You know what, though, Stacy Sass, yar, and I'm gonna keep calling you one. And be sad about it. Be sad about it. We're talking about a child trafficking cult, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, she said she was mean to the child traffickers." Are you one of them? Did I yell at you? Are you an F Sciento from Austin, and did I yell at you? Is that why you're in your fifis? Is that why you have to send me emails to my personal email? Is there anyone in this room that doesn't know that my first name is Leslie and my last name's Perlman? Dr. Perlman, if you're nasty, let's be real about it. So, like, all you freaks that are just like, let me just send all the emails, like, to Leslie Perlman, or call me Leslie Perlman on the internet. Oh my God, everyone knows my name. Sometimes when I go live, my motherfucking PhD diploma is behind me with my full name on it. Read it and weep. Did I yell at you? Did I yell at you? Are you one of the child traffickers I yelled at? So why are you sad? I don't give a fuck. And Aaron, interesting to me that you knew better to keep your kids out. But what is your record on speaking out about children in Scientology? So, to summarize here, I would rather if a Scientologist comes out of an org and says, please help me, I will shut my live down and I will post something to have y'all send me. I will start a GoFundMe. I'll have y'all send me Cash App. We will put that person up in a Motel 6 and we will work it out from there. I still will stop whatever I am doing to help any of these people. I am just not referring them to any foundation anymore. Period. I'm going to help the way that I can. I'm not going to be beholden to those people. And if me calling like geriatric child traffickers coffin dodgers makes you feel a type of way, there's a button and it is called unsubscribe. But by all means, talk about me. I'm not going to be like, don't talk about me on Reddit. You got free speech. Go do it. Do it. Because you know what? More people will come over here and watch me and be like, honestly, she's kind of funny. And she kind of has a point. Because I do. Because I do. Surge gave me, and I think a lot of other people, a sense of freedom to come forward and speak our truth, to be like, oh, we were treated like this. Oh, I didn't want to speak out about the Louis Repetto thing because, like, I don't know, like, me and Shannon don't really get along. Let me tell you a little story. Me and Shannon didn't get along at the beginning. We didn't. And guess what didn't matter? The fact that we didn't really get along. She could still call me and reach out to me and be like, "Hey, I've got the situation." I'll be like, "Hey, I'm gonna listen." And I did. And so the fact that people were like, "Well, I don't know, Shannon kinda doesn't like me. I don't know if I should listen to her story about Louis Repetto." Okay, so just tell me that you just don't have the balls to call out that person. And then Aaron, when you were just like, "Well, I warned everyone that was going to be working with Louis Repetto." Did you warn Shannon? Oh, you didn't? Did you warn the protesters in St. Louis? Oh, you didn't? Okay. So who did you warn then? And why was he just allowed to do this? And for all the people that are asking, I want more evidence. I want screenshots before I believe it. Fuck you and anybody else that rode in on that bullshit ass horse with you. Okay? How many people have a camera with them when they get raped? How many? Oh, most don't. Yeah. So when that did happen, which it did, it wasn't filmed, but the before and after has been captured in conversations, phone calls, lots of other things. I have lots of things from many different victims. I will never share that. I won't do it to prove what the fuck happened. I won't do it to prove that he's an asshole. I have never lied to you. I'm not going to lie to you now. But don't ask for me to give any information out unless you're an attorney for one of the victims or a police officer investigating this. If you're not one of those people, don't ask me for shit. And if you don't believe it, shut your fucking mouth. Shut your fucking mouth. Because he's a creep and I've seen everything. I've seen the videos. I've seen the messages. I've seen the emails. I've seen the texts. It's fucking disgusting. He's fucking gross. And him be acting like, oh, I didn't do anything. This wasn't that bad. No, it was fucking gross. I'm disgusted that I had to see it. I feel for every person that started off a conversation thinking it was going to be okay and then it wasn't. I've seen it all. That's all that I'm ever going to say about it. Period. So, were there people that knew about him though? 1,000,000%. 1,000,000%. Did a lot of them keep quiet? Yes, they did. Now, the one last thing that I want to talk about is Liz. as a lot of you know, Liz is one of my best friends on this earth, Liz Ferris. And yelling where like Save Bob Ferris to David Miscavige's stupid face in Austin was like highlight of my life. And Aaron Smith Levin and his foundation did her dirty, and I said what I said. Liz has a lot of receipts, and I'm not going to speak out of turn here, but I can assure you that Aaron is not as magnanimous as he pretends to be. He gaslit everybody in that live, Liz and Lara included, and all y'all in chat, and has continued to do so. And tomorrow or later this evening, when he comes out and he cries, he turns on the tears about what me and Serge have said so far. Just understand that he could turn those on a fucking dime. Remember that. And also remember, I was a huge fan. Huge fan. Do you know how many times I emailed him to offer services for program evaluation or anything gratis via my actual email? Um, and it wasn't until I yelled at Dave Miscavige to his face that he even spoke to me. And then it was one of the most awkward, terrible interviews of my entire life. He was at Jenna's house, probably pretending to make a really awesome, wholesome gingerbread house or something to pretend like they're amazing, wholesome people. Um, and he was completely distracted, probably pretending that he was a good person again. And it was awful and it was awkward. And to be honest with you, the conversations that I had after that with both Liz and then with Michael were infinitely more thoughtful and fun and interesting to watch. Yeah, exactly. He was not even catching my jokes. We did multiple lives. It wasn't until the 3rd live that I did with him where he even, like, started to at least get my jokes, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm so much funnier than you, and that makes you sad." So, um, wow, I can't believe that okay, 33 minutes. Of course, I got to 33 minutes on this, and I'm done bitching, that's all I have to say, but I now wanna go back. Um, First of all, Imma go through some of the, star chats. Yeah, I bet you were peeping this. I indeed. Good to see you in here. Super Pup, thank you so much. It's good to see you as well. Um, my friend Leland, who's been cheering me on since the start. Haggis Basher, indeed. Who would want to clutch any other ones? Um, I have to agree. I Serge was one of the biggest reasons, and I think a lot of people know that I tell his story more than other people, but I also appreciate that. I'm fine with so Henri says, "I'm fine with being name called and being hated. It is simply disappointing and concerning that anyone would allow personal distaste to get in the way of supporting court case coverage is disgraceful." I don't and that's the thing, Henri, I don't think that you are. Not by the people that use critical thinking. You and DOA are necessary to this, even if you're not always right, because most of us aren't gonna be right all the time. The fact that you get people talking about it and thinking about it is necessary. You and I have talked about this, offline, like, we don't get to the truth unless we dig up a lot of stuff and have the conversations about it. And honestly, the people anyone calling you names and hating you, like, wear that shit as a badge of honor at this point. Fluffy Llama Selfless, you and Pearl just met to meet. It's true. I agree. It was the best 4.99 ever. I am a Speak My Truth. He encouraged people to go protest, saying Scientology wouldn't do anything with the law. Now he won't support. That's right. It's like, and that's exactly what he has done time and time again to different people. I mean, he's encouraged multiple people to not fundraise for themselves, including Liz and others. Like, no, you're not going to need that because it's not convenient for him. Let's see, yeah. So, and again, we're not asking for money, but him and I had a conversation. Him and I on the phone, one-on-one conversation. And he's just like, "I will do a live about this. I will reach out and see if there's any attorneys that I know that would be willing to help or if any of them can, like, even suggest." It's the crickets for me. Some folks spent a lot of money on banners and flyers with all that. Yeah, they did. A lot of you did, and a lot of you have sent them to us, and that's the thing, and we'll still keep putting them up. I'm not gonna throw out anything that was sent to us to use, although I think most of it says SBTV Space, which is, an invaluable tool. I don't know if y'all have used the chatbot, that Geektology made to search the policy letters and stuff. That has been invaluable for my defense, by the way. Oh, I do wanna have some updates. So number 1, from me personally on my live, thank you for helping us reach our goal. I am my next court date is October 10th. Selflessness is November 1st. There's a I feel great about my case. I feel great about our evidence and couldn't do without you. And so number 1, that's the update. We both got continuances, but more importantly, just so grateful for all of your support. But I know a lot of people spend it. I mean, some of the things that I sold at Squirrel Fest were SPTV related things, and we raised money that we were not able to donate to them because back then, we were trying to enter it through this database to submit it so that it could be properly written off tax-wise. Well, it didn't exist, and if you put the number in now, it still doesn't exist. Resources were supposed to be a part of the foundation, and again, it didn't have to be financial. Many of us tried and got crickets in response. It's a little fr I know you did, Dylan. I know that you, I know that you just wanted to figure out a way to get everybody to be able to take a piece of themselves and, like, give the best to this foundation, and Serge did too, and we all wanted that to be the truth, and so I don't, there's not any glee, in this live. There's validation, but there's not glee, and I'm especially sorry for y'all that were and are wrapped up in it. Um, Fluffy on me. Sorry you've had to go through all you've gone through. Seemed like there was great support network to start it all off until a few certain showed their true colors. Glad you're taking a stand. Yeah, I think a lot of us wanted to take a stand earlier. Um, but there's consequences on social media for doing that. And that goes to that hierarchy that I spoke of that allegedly doesn't exist. People fail to forget to mention toll. Call me mental toll protesting. Yeah, it was exhausting, and there was a real reason that I left outside of the court cases, and part of it was that, like, I just wasn't proud of who I was being, and more important, I felt like I lost control of my ability to keep my shit together, to keep my TRs in, as it were, and I'm glad I took that break, but I'm also ready to go back out there and laugh in their face when I smoke them in court. Yes, independent, unaffiliated protesters. We go do what we want. It's like, "Oh, do you think that Scientology is a disgusting child trafficking cult? Awesome, come hang out with us." Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for protesting. I can't cause my ex to disconnect. Oh, well, I'm I have spoken to a lot of people that are in that situation, and I appreciate your support, and that is why we are out here, and hopefully at some point you will be able to join us. Um, uh-oh, did I just oh no, did I hide Jen Nelson? I meant to show Jen Nelson's, but I think I hit it, so I did see it, Jen, I'm sorry. Thank you for breaking your silence. I have to thank Serge for being willing to break his. Truth matters, no more kids in Scientology, absolutely. I love you right back. I love you, love your face. I'm here for you always. And he did you dirty, and, I look forward to hearing what you have to say about it. Uh, Pearl and DOA were my reasons for hitting the street. I love that. Yeah. And I hope we continue to be. And I hope that more people will continue to come out now that we've like kind of gotten through a lot of the stuff that really sucks. Like, okay, here's the stuff that we're supposed to care about. Oh, here's some pitfalls. Here's how to deal with the law. Oh, speaking of the law, I want to talk about one other thing real quick. Um, to the folks that are like, if you can't afford an attorney, don't break the law. What law have I broken? Oh, do I have the body cam from the police saying that I didn't break any laws? And that's why people went out and swore? Like, They lied on paper and swore out Class C misdemeanor noise, like disturbing the peace. But their whole complaint is about something that has nothing to do with noise. Because again, I've never been arrested. Because the police are like, no, it's her First Amendment right. But even if that wasn't the truth, you do know that Scientologists lie, right? To the police, and that they use the police. And you do know that some of the police are bought off, right? And you know that some police are just like, fuck a protester, right? So it doesn't really matter if you're breaking the law or not a lot of times in these protests. So for all the people that have said that, uh, you can go fuck yourself sideways with a cactus. Thank you. So sometimes people you support show you who they really are. That's true. And I hope that I continue to show you that I am a loudmouth person because I care a lot and I really don't like bullies and being pushed around. And so I'm really sorry that chairman of the board, Smith Levin, decided to like fuck around and find out, but here we are. SPTV.space is not, yes, of course. The people who run the site, yes, I know. That site is amazing. They are not affiliated, and I love it. And if you're not using it, you should be. The resources are amazing. The chatbot to be like, what policy letter is this? Or like, where do I find out information about this? It's there. Just ask. It's awesome. Why aren't you using it? I'm actually using it in my defense. So that's awesome. Yes, you absolutely can, Kelly. I did mean to write back to you. So I am October 10th for 2 Class C misdemeanors, and Selfless is November 1st for the TRO in a discovery motion. Julie B., I used to donate to the foundation. And when he did what he did to Liz and Laura on that live, it was the end. Yeah. We wanted to donate the money from KK and have it directed toward Liz. And we're told that that was not allowed. This is the best post I've seen in months. I finally understand what the F Sciento has been going on. Thank you, Pearl Snappy, for not pulling any punches and telling the truth. Yeah, I didn't like to have to pull punches in the last live that I did, but I was really still hoping that people would make the right choices. And that I wouldn't have to. But I also am not going to pretend like I don't see what's going on, because then none of y'all would have any respect for me. I wouldn't have any respect for me. And it's not what we're trying to do here. Thank you, Pearl. Aaron himself has done more to destroy the F Scientology movement than Scientology itself. I personally unsubscribed to almost all Scientology protest channels. I get it. I totally understand. I don't subscribe to them at all either. It's gross. How are you going to be on a public board and not accept criticism? And how are you going to just call somebody a troll because they criticize you instead of being like, you know what, they might have a point. Oh, wait, that's the common perception of how we're running this. Like, ugh, maybe we should take a moment and look at this. And that's all Serge asked them to do. And they were like, no, that's a troll. The protesters don't support us, blah, blah. Cool story, bro. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the copyright strike that you're going to get if you ever try to put any of my protesting shit on your channel again. Is Reese still on the board? What happened in Clearwater? I have no idea what happened in Clearwater. And as far as I know, Reese is still on the board, probably looking for a new emergency to grift her audience, allegedly. It's like they were in a cult that didn't allow free speech. Still feels culty. Yeah. It's like the foundations are little satellite offices for F Sciento or something. It's like totally weird, right? Also, Cena Marlene, maybe. Kimberly, my friend, we love you at Pearl Snappy for bringing us the truth. It's not always easy to speak, but it needs to be said. So many unspoken truths need to come out. Thank you, woman. We love you. I love you right back. You and Turnip and RU have been amazing supports and friends to me. If the SPTV Foundation dissolves, who will get the money? I have no idea. Oh, I want to say a lot of things, but I've said enough today. I'm going to be good. Thank you, Pearl. Aaron almost destroyed the F Sciento protest movement. That was so successful. Yeah, he's tried. And I don't know, it's the myopic vision for me. It's the following everything that you learned in Scientology for me. Oh, never defend, always attack. Get a deputize people to go out and do your dirty work for you. Funny that we saw that happen. So glad you asked for the discovery. Oh, y'all are gonna love that. It is so good. Pearl was also the reason why I went out there to protest as well as DOA. Oh, thank you, MD Media, and I hope that you're feeling better. I hope that you're doing well. Air dismissing therapy was a big red flag to me. It was a big red flag for everybody. Um, and it should have been probably a big red flag for more people. Let's see. He doesn't. And I think that there's going to be other people. I know that there's other people that are going to come out and say their piece, but he's been problematic in some of the jokes that he's made about. He's made ableist jokes. He's made racist jokes. It's like dream is to be on Joe Rogan. I'm sorry, Rogan's um, misinformation podcast. The how many things can we get wrong in one live podcast? Like that's his dream. Everybody's got a dream. What's your dream? What's your dream? Everybody's got a dream. Pretty Woman, bald head scallywag, Smith Levin. Yeah. So, oh, and you've been amazing, and you make the best stickers, and signs. I cannot wait to use the posters that you made. Um, Waiting for the case to be won or dismissed so I can go out there with all of those giant new posters. So, did I miss any starred ones? Let's see. Um, Summer, thank you, Pearl Snappy, for breaking all this down for us. You catch Liz tomorrow on Cultology. Yeah, see, there you go. Liz will be on Cultology with Summer Savage and Dr. Who Heather. She'll be explaining a lot more things from her side. I have a lot that I could say about Liz as well, but I want Liz to have her voice, and I also um, I wanted to keep this about my experiences so that um, it's clear that like A, saw this coming. B, these were my personal experiences. And this is what I meant by support, Aaron. Like, can you make a live about KK's GoFundMe? Can you make a live about asking for an attorney in Texas that would help? Oh, you can't? Cool. Thanks. So, yeah, I think 49 minutes worth of hot tea, 48 tells me I've been live 48. You subscribed just so you could ask about that EIN. I searched it in the IRS site, comes up with nothing. Comes up with the same thing that happens if you go to the search for nonprofits and not for profits. It's all the tax exempt entities. You could search SPTV Foundation and it will say nothing. And if you search the EIN that I was given, it says nothing. So I've had it for a while. We actually didn't end up donating that money to SPTV Foundation from Squirrel Fest. It was divided amongst other charities that would be aligned with this, which then put me in another awkward position because all the people that donated things donated with the expectation that that would be going to the SPTV Foundation. And like we tried, and I tried to give all the grace in the world, and I have, and I've kept my mouth shut for a really long time. But lest we forget, we're dealing with a bunch of people with very strong narcissistic tendencies who were raised in a narcissist cult built by narcissists for narcissists. So my level of surprise. Steve, I don't know if it's fake or if it's like not registered or what. But it's not there. It's not there. And to be honest with you, I was like, I've had this number and I know a lot of people have asked for it, but I was almost afraid to give it out because I was like, what if they gave me a fake one? that was, like, a specific thing, wanted to see who I would share it with, 'cause that's what I would imagine that these folks would be up to sometimes. So that was one of the main reasons that I didn't release it. But also, I'm capable of using the Google machines, and so when I put it in there and nothing came up, like, I was pretty convinced that I didn't really need RUGel, and I think a lot of people have kept their mouth shuts, and I hope that mouths shut, and I hope that a lot of people come forward. My personal opinion, this is just my opinion, is that she wanted to believe it too, and then got caught up. Um, I One last thing I'll say about Natalie. Um, when I spoke to Natalie, this has happened when I've spoken to many former Scientologists, especially those of whom who've gotten into arguments with other former Scientologists. Almost every time, person A has said, "I really wish that person B would have just said this to me," and had, like, a verbatim statement that they wanted to hear. And then person B would be like, "Man, I really wanted to hear exactly this from person A." But yeah, none of y'all talk to one another. You were very able to communicate what you wish you would have heard to me. Did you tell that to the other person? No, y'all just went on the internet, talked about it. And then you wonder. But then we also find out, like, what are you doing with this foundation? Who are you helping? You're bragging about having $50,000 when we can all see on the internet that you make about $40,000 a month. Well, before we all started finding out about you. Yeah, exactly. Communication, universal solvent, except for them. So, um, I support Serge's call to action, which is like, look, do better. Listen, SPTV Foundation. These questions that we're asking, we're not asking because we're trolls. Although if you'd like me to dress up like a troll and ask you that, if it would make you feel better, I can. But like, these are questions that with a board you should be willing to answer. Henri's main point was that millions of dollars were wasted in the Black Lives Matter movement because decisions were made behind the closed doors. All we're asking for is transparency in what you're doing. Like, what is your goal? Do you know? Like, what's your business plan? Who are you supporting and how? That's never been clear. Um, we know who you're not supporting. Maybe you should just start there and do one minus that. Either way, um, I hope that they listen and talk amongst themselves and decide to do better. I suspect that they won't, and that they'll try to half-ass manage it and just, like, really make a clusterfuck out of it, or ignore it and hope that it goes away and show us all that, everything that we've said so far has been true. So either way, um, Steve, how long did you have questions about Aaron's lack of a business plan? To be honest with you, since, I knew that they had not had a board meeting in the entirety of their existence in about June. June, I knew that they'd never had a board meeting. The first board meeting that they had was to allegedly vote on Liz's continued support, which had already been approved. And then all of a sudden, "Oh, yeah, we voted," and Reese made that live, like, "Oh, it was so great in our first board meeting. How long y'all been together?" That was your first board meeting, and it was to vote on something that you'd already decided on. Mm, but then you added on a whole bunch of conditions, didn't you? Look forward to Liz talking about that tomorrow. Of course, they speak on the phone, but they had not had any board meetings. This was the first one. Second, I'm sorry, Dylan. Thank you for correcting me. It doesn't make it a lot better. So, and I mean, if anybody raised something that they wanted to do, like, "Hey, how do we support this group of people? How do I use my talents to do this?" I believe the Scientology, term is backflashing, so Aaron would just accuse people of backflashing. So, I will call you Martha. Yeah, um, I don't have to lie about Scientology because they're that bad that I don't have to make stuff up, and it's unfortunate that that turns out to be true about, some of the people that act like they're doing anti-Scientology work. Um, so we're very lucky that we found an attorney that was willing to do this, that sees the value in what we're doing. Um, Serge has, worked with an amazing attorney to get help from Michael. Um, we're all figuring it out through the support of y'all, not through any of these foundations. And now that Serge has broken a lot of the things, I don't expect, Dylan, I don't expect you like, I don't feel like you owe anybody anything, but I just want you to know that you'd be very well supported if you came out and made your statement. That goes for Sterling as well, although I expect that, um, like, multiplied by, like, pretty much 0. Um, what did Henry say? Laughing about committing a right. It's not a game. It's not a joke. It's not. Um, and also making jokes about somebody who is having a mental breakdown because of all the shit that they've gone through and trying to stand up for this and being like, "Oh, that person is just a drug addict, an abuser, X, Y, and Z, just as bad as David Miscavige." It's the projection for me. It's the fraudacity for me. It's the you could take the Scientologist out of Scientology, but you can't take it out of the Scientologist. With the exception so far of very few people. The 2 shining examples of people that are real people are Serge and Liz. I look forward to adding to that list. Jesus, Dylan. Of course. I mean, the only reason I don't even I if that doesn't tell you all, what even was this? What have we all been here doing? And none of that's gonna prevent any of us that actually care, um, from continuing being out here. Oh, yeah, Lara, sorry. Yes, 100% Lara. Um, you can't stop us. You can't stop us. Aaron can't. All the people that are really mad about somehow the way that we talk to some of the F-Scientos, because we may have hurt their old wrinkly child trafficking fifis. Okay, well, if you feel worse for the child traffickers than you do for the kids, then please, by all means, see yourself directly out of my chat. I agree, Auntie M. So, yeah, I could go on, but I will just get myself in trouble and then end up just like, you know, repeating myself. Um, I appreciate y'all listening. Um, I agree with you. I agree. I agree. But you've got all of our support and anything that you need from us, we're here. But we're not going to stop. We're not going to be silenced. I'm going to keep advocating for all those kids. I'm going to keep asking where Liz's dad is. I'm going to keep asking where Lara's parents are. And I'm going to keep embarrassing them and writing chalk on their sidewalks and hurting their stupid fifis. And as soon as Selfless is able to, we will be out there in stereo. Kids can't consent. Child auditing is abuse. And get back in your cult. So I look forward to seeing y'all out there soon. Thank you for hanging out with me and listening. Certainly, I welcome like feedback questions. I'll try to be as responsive as I can. If you decide to be like a weird, creepy troll, um, I'll probably delete your stuff because like this is my channel, and if you want to go have free speech, you can go have it on your own channel or like on Reddit or whatever. Cool. Make a video about it. I won't copyright you, unless you're Aaron. In the face. But yeah, so thanks for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you so much to Serge for having the bravery to come out and say this. Thank you, Henri, for saying what you wanted to say and kind of getting this ball rolling. Thanks to all the protesters. Like, come back in the cult. Like, let's get back out there and embarrass these F Scientos and make them sad again and remind them that they smell like hot dog water and not give literally an F, in the words of Serge. So I love y'all. Miss your faces. I will see you out there soon. Thanks for hanging out. Bye. F Sciento!